Hello fellow space engineers, GopeScope here from the GopeScope Gaming channel, and I'm happy to welcome you to another episode in our Void Corp Technologies series. So behind me we have a couple of vehicles that I'll talk about in just a second. I've been watching Starship Troopers. I haven't gotten through the whole thing. I stopped to bring this video to you, but I got to a point where they are in this pretty cool fort, and I'm a little nervous about bug attacks. So I thought I'd build a fort on my platform here, patterned after that fort, just in case. But it needs to go over here, and we've got this tower in the way. So I'm using a World with Digi's natural gravity mod, and this is my first stab at a couple of ground sort of construction vehicles. Now, because we have this natural gravity, I can't just use one of my welding or grinding sort of small ships that I've built, because they don't have the thrust to stay airborne to do this kind of work. It's not practical. You don't have those kinds of things in an area where you actually have something akin to Earth-like gravity. Just doesn't make sense. Like, you would never see a helicopter grinding down a building or something weird like that. Although I think I have seen a helicopter swinging some kind of a wrecking ball into something. That may have been in a movie. I don't know. Anyway, back to what we need to do here. We need to tear this down in order to build this base. And so we're going to use these vehicles to do it. These are identical except for the tools that they have on them. So the one closest to us here is obviously the one we're going to use to tear down this tower. And the one over here is going to be the one we'll use to build the fort. So before we hop in these, let me just kind of go around the outside and give you sort of a general overview of what we have going on here. You can see there's an arm. And now this is a sort of a crane arm that'll raise up. And under there you see there's a landing gear that's locking this in place so that when you're driving around you don't have the crane arm swinging all over the place on you. There's also some built-in storage in the crane arm itself, as well as the body of the vehicle, and a spotlight up here on the crane arm too, as well as spotlights facing forward, and there are some at the rear too. We'll actually walk to the back of the vehicle right now. And let's check out the rear. Here we got an extra tire, just in case you take some wheel damage. And there are those backup lights. There's also a camera to help with backing up to connect to something to reload. And there's this little button here, and that activates a timer that lowers the pistons and landing gear that elevate this vehicle. So if you need to get into the undercarriage, it also turns the floodlights on the undercarriage on as well. So if you've been doing some work driving around and you think you've possibly damaged some part of the bottom of this vehicle, you can get under here quite easily with this system in order to repair. And then also, the other thing this does is it actually gives you a little extra height if you are trying to reach something very high to either weld or grind down, depending on the vehicle that you're using. Give you an extra, I don't know, about a meter or so, little extra reach. There are no gyroscopes in these vehicles. These are designed to work from the steering of the wheels only. The front sets of wheels, the front two sets of wheels, actually do the steering. The back does not. Kind of played with the different forms or different settings that you can do as far as the friction strength, the suspension strength, and the travel distance, all of the different settings. There's probably a more optimal way to do it than I've done it, but I spent a little time playing with it, driving around, and I think I have it working pretty well. Now you'll notice, even though I'm using this artificial gravity kind of mod, or natural gravity mod by Digi, I do have artificial mass blocks in the vehicle. So if you were to use these and you didn't have that mod, you could just turn all of those artificial mass blocks on and it should work just fine on like a platform or a station. And then also, the other function that these serve is, if you're using a mod like this, you can see there are sensors here. Those are actually tied to the artificial mass blocks on each side, in the front and the back. So if the vehicle lifts too far off one side or another, so say you're going around a sharp corner and you actually go up on three wheels, the opposite side artificial mass blocks will turn on automatically and kind of help the vehicle to right itself, help it to come back down to the ground and hopefully prevent you from rolling over. It is still possible to roll these. I mean, it doesn't make it so that you can turn as sharp as you want, but it helps with the stability a little bit. At least I thought it was kind of a neat idea in theory. I'm not sure in planets how they're actually going to have artificial mass blocks function, if they're going to keep doing what they're doing on planets, or if they're not going to work the same way. We'll see, but either way, they serve two functions now, the way things are. You can use them so that you don't need to use a gravity mod, or you can use them for that improved stability. So now let's go ahead and hop in one of these. We're going to hop in the grinding vehicle. And let's get our HUD up. So we've got handbrake on-off controls, so we're going to disengage that, and then we're going to start kind of driving forward here, and let's turn on a couple of our lights. And we'll come right up to this, and let's turn on the grinders, and we'll see when we're close, because we'll see it start to actually cut away. There we go, we're pretty close now. So that's starting to grind. Let's turn them off and back up just a titch, and we can reactivate them. And then let's turn on the elevator arm. You'll see that's raising up. And now, if you want to actually stop it, so at full extension, it's all the way up here. And if you were to want to, say, stop it here, you just turn off the rotor, and it'll sit there. And then you can drive a little closer if you'd like to start cutting away. And this timer block will raise and lower the arm. If we go in this view, we can see a couple of things the timer block actually does. The artificial mass on the back acts as a counterweight, so when it's raising in the raising position or traveling in the raising mode, those turn on, and when it's going to be lowered back down again, they turn off. And the other thing that happens is the landing gear automatically, the landing gear that locks this arm, automatically cycles so that it will lock the arm automatically when it comes down and release it when you want to raise it up. Alright, I just wanted to come at a different angle of attack here to get to the highest point on this. You can see this is 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks high. So let's raise our arm all the way up and turn our grinders on. And we can get close here. This is about the max height that these are able to reach, is about 6 blocks. And like I said, you can actually get just a little more height with the elevators. So you can see if this wasn't a block that occupied 2 spaces, you'd still be able to get that 6th block up. Now we're getting down to the very bottom, and as we get down here, you can see it can actually grind down the very lowest level. So it can't grind something that's below this, so basically anything that's on the deck, it won't be able to, but it can get anything that's 1 block up, from 1 block up to 6 blocks high, and anything in between. Alright, now we're in our construction vehicle, the one that has the welders on it, and we're going to drive over here to where the projector is. You can kind of see it through there, and get a little closer to it, and then turn our welders on and begin building. So this part's not much different than how you'd build with a space vehicle, or if you were by yourself. Just doing it in a ground vehicle is the only difference. And we might want to come around this way to get the outside of it. But if we can line ourselves up with this wall, it should be fairly simple to get into position here where we can turn on our welders and just sort of back up and fill the wall in as we go. You can see that the building goes pretty quickly. You want to give the welders enough time to build the upper blocks, of course. And so now we've got the outside of this part of the wall done. So now let's move forward. You can see we've got some catwalks up here. We're going to need that in case there are bugs. Got to be able to get up there to shoot at them with your assault rifle. So let's raise the arm up a little bit and stop it about there. So it's about the height we'll need. And we can move up here to finish working on these. Oh, I think I rammed the wall. That's some operator error there. Let's fix it up. There we go. Alright. And now we can raise it back up. Oh no, this is actually a problem with the blueprint. Or not the blueprint, but with just the way that I'm building this. Now I understand why. I need to build this in order for these to be able to have something to attach to. And now I just learned something. Looking at this, I haven't actually built with projectors this often. So those of you who have, this is not going to be news. But just in case for anyone else that hasn't noticed it, the blocks that you can build show up whiter and the ones that you can't are gray. So a little bit of a noob discovery there, but that's good. It's good to know. So let's get this repaired, because we beat the crap out of this wall here. And the last thing we want is a wall that's from the beginning wrecked, so that bugs can get through. You don't want that. That's not good at all. All right, let's raise this up a little bit without crashing into the wall. There we go. So without belaboring this and having you watch me build this whole thing and just repeatedly crash into this wall for no good reason, I'll finish the construction off camera. But I think you get the general idea how this works. Arm goes up, arm goes down. We've got lights. We got the arm able to lock and able to stop part way up and down wherever you need it to. All you need to do is turn the rotor off and it will stop for you. And quite a bit of storage in there. A couple of solar panels, as well as some reactors, because those artificial mass blocks, they take a lot of juice. On that subject, the one thing we haven't really looked at is what happens when we start moving fast enough to lift part of the vehicle off the ground. So let's kind of get angled over here and take this for a spin and see what it looks like when we take a hard turn, and see if these artificial mass blocks, the stability system, works the way I want it to. Ooh, getting close to the edge there. We're getting mighty close. So you could see there, we started to go up on one side, and the sensors went off, and it does a pretty good job of slamming the vehicle back down to the ground. You can do it again there. So it kind of dampens the what would otherwise be I think probably more of a... Whoop! We went too far that time. So it's not perfect. It can't stop you if you're trying to roll. But it does do a pretty good job. Let's hop in this one. All right, so we're gonna take it for a spin here. Just slam it directly. So something that you may be realizing right now is that though I have many hours in this game, those hours are largely spent just building things and not actually operating them. Therefore, I am terrible at operating them. So I think this is a good concept, though. I'd love it if you guys want to check this out and let me know what you think, if it actually does help or not. It seems to me. You know, it's one of those things that it's a little hard to tell, like, you know, is it better with it or without it? But from what I can tell when I'm trying this, it seems like when these activate, when I'm turning too quickly, it seems like it pushes the vehicle back down quite effectively. Oh, I think we lost one right off the side. So let's see. Here we go. Let's get another good turn on. There we go. And there, that was a pretty good one. See, that one maybe would have been a roll if it wasn't for that system. It was a little close anyway. So let's line up and do another run here where we turn hard all of a sudden. There we go. Oh! And it comes back down. And you can see if you're actually bouncing, so the whole vehicle's up, they'll all turn on also. So that kind of helps. Now let's do a little bit of the off-road kind of stuff, so you can see how this works with going up slopes. One thing to notice is that the clearance on this, it's pretty good as far as the wheels go. The tools on the front are something that you should watch. If you're going to go up a steep slope, take it a little easy, or if you're going down a steep slope onto a flat surface, because you could hit these. And one thing you can do is just get it out of the way while you're driving, and then lower it back down when you're back on a flatter kind of area. That's an option. So now if we come off of this hill really fast, let's see what this looks like. It handles that pretty well. Can make a pretty tight turn. And this is without gyros, so this is just the wheel steering only. And I've actually been pretty happy with it. I know some people have not been wanting to use this because the gyro steering's well, better, and I think it probably is, but with the right settings on the wheels, which I took quite a bit of fiddling with to figure out what works, and then with a stability system like this, it actually seems to work pretty well to me. It seems like it handles, and this isn't meant to be like an off-road drive like a lunatic kind of vehicle, but you can see I'm kind of driving like a lunatic and not really doing a whole lot of damage to this vehicle. You know, taking corners pretty hard, going up a slope at a pretty high speed, and there I wasn't even raising the one arm. Oh, there we go. I did it. I flipped her over. So there go there go our two vehicles. They are totally destroyed now. You can see the sort of craters they left. So anyway, I'll finish this fort. I'll have to rebuild these vehicles, and I'll finish Starship Troopers as well. It's a pretty great movie so far. Oh my gosh, those wheels are still spinning. I better turn those off. These vehicles will be available in the Steam Workshop in the Void Corp Technologies collection. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more, please hit those like and subscribe buttons. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more.